That's a tremendous philosophic proposition and the ultimate source of human freedom. What does it mean all men are created equal when, obviously, by the way, they are not? Like, look around the table. I'm old, you're young, boys and girls, large and small, younger and older. You're just a baby, aren't you?
Yes.
He's a sophomore. He's a precocious sophomore, as old Christian here. So we're not equal, right? Compare children and dogs. The most important comparison, by the way, in the entire academic world, the key to understanding all nature, is to compare children and dogs. I don't like cats. I don't compare them. But children and dogs, right? And what is it about the children and the dogs?
You can raise them just about the same way when they're young, but then at some point the children start speaking and somehow they've picked up on how people act and how people interact.
They talk. Yeah, the specific thing they do. See, in my family, the children are grown now, and we have these two boxers, and they're really great. One of them's a three-legged dog, and he's the happiest dog we ever had. And the dogs are everywhere, wherever we are. So you guys are all coming over to my house for dinner, and you will find that you'll be dining with the dogs, right? And when we were raising the kids, the dogs were always there. And after about a year and a half, the kids started talking, and the dogs never did. And they'd all heard exactly the same things, right? So this talking, Aristotle says that the gift of speech, which is identical, he claims, to reason or rationality, they are the same thing. The argument is, when you are talking, you are thinking to yourself. You are thinking out loud. And when you are thinking, you are talking to yourself. It's the same thing. Now, somehow this capacity we have that makes us human, there's some respect in which we are all created equal. And where I think that is this phenomenon of the dogs and the kids. Dogs, at various times in their lives, are greatly preferable to children, right? But they're not the same kind of thing, else they would say so. And they never do, right? Last night, the dogs were talking to us as dogs talk, right? And Aristotle says, animals use their voices to indicate pleasure and pain. People speak to distinguish the just from the unjust, right? This whole thing is a statement of the just and the unjust, and it depends on this simple point. This is what all men are created equal means. You are the King of England, and you ride in a golden carriage, and everybody salutes you and all fear you. But you know, when you were a year and a half old, you started doing something that no animal has ever done. And no one taught you to do that. You just started doing it. And it wasn't because you were born royal, it's because you were born human, and so were we. It just means that. And born in this gift, you see, that we can speak and therefore see that thing and that thing is the same kind of thing, and it doesn't make any difference if it's your kid or somebody else's. You can't treat it like a dog because it is not a dog. And no king can treat it like a dog because it is not a dog to him either, because it's not a dog. See, once the ground is laid for that, then, of course, Thomas Jefferson can write in the last serious letter he wrote, "Some are not born with saddles on their backs, nor others booted and spurred to ride them by the grace of God." The king can rightly put a harness on the horses that pull his carriage, but he can't do that to people unless they volunteer. You see, that's a tremendous philosophic proposition and the ultimate source of human freedom. And this, by the way, is the greatest political statement of that in all history.
Thank you for watching. We hope you're enjoying our highlight series and invite you to explore all of Hillsdale College's online courses. They are free and for everyone who loves to learn.